5:23 p.m., February 13th, 2024. Nice day today. Well, if everybody goes to the Sean Ryan show, you're going to see the latest two that worked under Stubblebine, who was treasonous to our government. He offered Dr. Stephen Greer $2 billion to join his deep black special ops, undisclosed, unauthorized military project that wasn't read into Congress or the president. So two people that have come forward on the Sean Ryan show had top security clearance, highly respected in military intelligence, Army intelligence. And I recommend you listen to what they're saying, because they're talking about directed energy weapons. They're talking about remote viewing. Remote viewing is the whole picture of psychic abilities, of voice to skull, of trying to see the future through MK Ultra, all these different technologies. So these two gentlemen, they may be honorable, I don't know. You know, their hearts may be good, but they worked for a very criminal general. And if the projects are done right with people's permission, and they want to remote view weapons in other countries and, you know, terrorists and, you know, bombs and find missing children, there's a lot of good that can come out of remote viewing. But unfortunately, why would the military be wanting to do it and spend billions and billions of dollars studying it for just that? Because you know they have nefarious reasons for wanting to do it. The Army intelligence is not about, I mean, I wish they were about finding missing children. They'd be put to better use. But really, it's about interfacing the human mind and consciousness with computers. And probably they're trying to throw out people's consciousness so they can put their own consciousness in younger bodies. There's probably a group of sadistic, sadists, psychopaths that are ruling our world that think nothing of humanity or this planet, by the way, and have their own agenda going on. And they are doing it. And whistleblowers are coming forward, many of them, and saying these practices are going on, where they're trying to interface children with computers to their death, by the way. They're interfacing people with computers for telepathy, because extraterrestrials that do exist, and Roswell was real, by the way, they're finding they could bring their craft closer by trying to interface it with these poor victims' minds. So to their death, with the aids probably of drugs and computers and directed energy weapons, they're trying to find ways to pull in the extraterrestrial vehicles closer. And that's what Dr. Stephen Greer said whistleblowers are coming forward and saying. It's what they call it through Lockheed Skunk Works is pure fucking magic. Because they could do teleportation. They could probably, you know, like quantum entanglement. They could communicate for thousands and thousands of miles away. They have all this technology that's 300 years ahead of us. And they don't think twice about creating Manchurian candidates with these directed energy weapons. Voice to skull, nervous system stimulation, and you've seen them if you go to the United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights, you will see the U.S. patents on directed energy weapons individual targeting program. And whether you like the United Nations or not, he shows a list of patents and you can look them up and see that they're real. So I would definitely check out these two guys on the Sean Ryan show. Earlier on, he had Dr. Stephen Greer on, and he had whistleblowers coming forward about voice to skull through Raytheon. And people, veterans have come back from Iraq complaining about voice to skull. And many of our veterans, they're being experimented on by these criminals. They're supposed to, you know, our military is supposed to protect our country. But who are they protecting really? They don't seem to be protecting we the people, because all this criminal activity is going on in our country, kidnapping, prostitution, drug running, and there's criminal elements in the deep state that are making money by doing all that. And our country, most people don't have a clue to what's happening in this country. And they're okay with people being tortured to death as long as it's not them. They don't speak up. As long as it's not happening to me or my family, I don't care. But this is not going to be an I don't care deal. This is going to affect everybody. This is going to affect the future of your children and grandchildren. It's not going to go on like this much longer. It is not God's wishes. And I will not believe for a second anybody calls himself a Christian, believes in God, and thinks this is okay and this is cool. Because anybody that's not giving their permission to have somebody hijack their intellectual property in their brain and torture them, and you think God's behind that, then you're really being misled about what God is and what God's about. If you can honestly think this is okay to do to other human beings or animals in this planet, it's not okay.